China is marking the Lunar New Year, one of the most important dates on its calendar, while concerns grow about the coronavirus outbreak. There are currently 830 confirmed cases in China, 26 of whom have died. The virus has now spread to Europe, with 2 cases confirmed in France. Here's Juliana Olayenka with Around the World in 5.
Good evening from the Channel's newsroom in London. Authorities in China have expanded a travel lockdown which includes 12 cities and 35 million residents in an effort to contain the deadly coronavirus. The rapidly expanding outbreak has overwhelmed the province's hospitals and fueled fears of a global pandemic. South Korea have confirmed their 2nd case. In nearby Thailand, a 5th. One of the patients was not detected at the airport before entering the country.
I think they should done more, right? Say, for example, checking the temperature, not really people by people. It's kind of, there's equipment when people passing by, they can feel if you are going high fever. This kind of equipment, back into SARS period, actually Shanghai or the other airport in China, they can do that. I think they can install that one.
Thousands of miles away in Turkey, the country's health minister said that a suspected coronavirus patient who was under medical supervision for over 36 hours was sent back to Wuhan City, where the virus is believed to have started. The World Health Organization expects cases of the coronavirus to continue to rise in China.
It's still too early to draw the conclusions on how severe the virus is. Because at the beginning of any outbreak, you would focus more on the severe cases, and you will have more of those. And then maybe we are missing some mild cases because people will just be a little bit sick and will not be ever tested, and they will recover. So, we may see more mild cases as surveillance intensifies. So the issue is not so much really on numbers that we know that will go up.
Back in China, on the eve of the Lunar New Year celebrations, fear has gripped residents. Schools are shut, friends and family are quarantined, and medical gear is hard to find. For now, the virus is an emergency for China. The world waits to see if it's declared a global pandemic. At least 6 people have been killed and several others injured after a shooting in a town in southwestern Germany. Authorities have said that many of the victims are believed to be from the same family. The suspect, a German citizen, has been detained by police. Hundreds of thousands of protesters have marched through Baghdad, calling for US troops to leave Iraq following the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani and an Iraqi military chief. The country's parliament voted to expel the US military from the country following the attack, but the Trump administration has said it does not intend to pull out troops.
What do we want? Climate justice! What do we want? Now!
Teenage activist Greta Thunberg joined a climate strike in Davos on the final day of the World Economic Forum. Speaking to reporters just before the march set off, Thunberg rebuked business and government leaders for not taking climate action seriously.
In Africa, we've really had crazy floods as a result of extreme weather conditions, and these have killed millions of animals as well. It's just that media is kind of biased, so you choose what to report.
A large explosion has ripped through a building in northwest Houston, sending a neighborhood resident to hospital and prompting fire officials to check air quality in the area for any potentially dangerous fumes. The blast occurred at machining company Watson Grinding and Manufacturing in the early hours of Friday morning. Officials have urged people to avoid the area. Britain's Prince Charles has met with the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas whilst on an historic visit to Bethlehem. During an address, the Prince delivered a strong message of support for the plight of the Palestinian people, wishing that their future will bring freedom, justice and equality to all.
To be able to visit Bethlehem, at least, has been for me a great joy. And I have much appreciated the opportunity to meet quite a wide cross-section of Palestinian people during my short visit, and to hear something of their lives and the challenges they face. So for me, I wish there was a greater opportunity to visit more while I was here, but as you can imagine, it's not always so easy.
And finally, African fabrics have been showcased in Paris Haute Couture Fashion Week for the very first time. The designer Cameroonian Imani Aissi was chosen to close this week's showings, known for its jaw-dropping looks and elitist style. Models showed off dresses using traditional African fabrics, such as striped faso damfani from Burkina Faso and embroidered kente from Ghana. Aissi sources many of the fabrics directly from workshops in West Africa, providing jobs for local artisans. And that's your international news around the world in 5.
And the main news again. The European Union today raised an alarm over the northeast humanitarian crisis, insisting that there is a steady rise in killing of aid workers and the number of illegal checkpoints by armed bandits. Also today, the Inspector General of Police ordered tight security across 28 federal and state constituencies ahead of tomorrow's rerun in 11 states. And authorities in China today expanded travel lockdowns to include 13 cities with over 35 million residents to contain the spread of the deadly coronavirus. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Do have a great weekend and good night.